Hi guys, it's Amanda. Welcome back. Today I'm going to attempt another paint pour. I'm going to attempt just a flip cup this time because I haven't been having very much luck with my paintings lately, so I'm just going to see what happens. I'm hoping that today's better than the last couple have been. And I think I'm going to try to save the little bit in the bottom of the cup like I normally do in case it's a mess so that I can pour what's left over top of it if I have to. I'm going to start with this, whoa, a whole lot of that pearlescent paint. Maybe too much, but I can't change it now. Next is lemon yellow, and it has a little bit of the pearlescence inside of it, I think. If I picked up the right paint, that is. And then I'm going to put some pearlescent in between. Some of it can mix together, but I want some of it separated. Next is yellow orange with pearlescence in it. And some pearlescence in between. And then some medium magenta. I think I went a little bit heavy on that. Pearlescence. Heavy on that. Block that just a little bit. This is Ultramarine Violet. And I think it's a little bit thicker than the others. I could not get the lid off to put a little bit of water to thin it out. So it's going to be a little bit thicker than the other ones. And I'm sorry, you might be able to hear the rain in the background. This is Prussian Blue. And I think it's a little bit thicker as well. I did try to thin it out, but it still seems kind of thick. So I don't know how this will turn out. And that's half of my cup, so I'm going to separate this a little bit. I'm going to go in the reverse order this time, just to finish filling up my cup. I know that's an awful lot of that pearlescent paint in between, and I know you don't have to put something between your colors, but I like to separate them a little bit so that they don't completely meld together. And there's no silicone in any of these paints. I'm thinking if I have trouble and I have to add anything else on top after I tilt my painting, then I may add silicone the next time if I'm having trouble. Yellow is my favorite color, so I'll pile that on. And I'll do just a little bit of that. Okay. That's it for my cup. I'm going to set it aside for a while to let the colors kind of meld together and see if it forms any cells or anything before we flip the cup. I'll clean my bottles up, put lids, I'll layer my base coat on my canvas, and I will be back after I've let that sit for a while. Okay guys, I'm back. It took a lot longer than I expected to put that white base coat on. I think it's time to retire this bottle because it has a crack in the lid. So there were a whole lot of dry lumps in that paint. And I didn't quite get them all out, but I got as many out as I could. I'm going to move this for just a second. Figure out how to flip my cup. And then we'll let that sit and see what it does. I see another hair that I want to remove. There may still be a few lumps that end up in this painting because I couldn't get them all out. Put this down here. I have a hard time judging the center. I need to, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. That's pretty close. So I will let that sit for a minute, for a few minutes, and I'll cut that out for you. I like to let them sit after I flip them over so that I give it time for all of the paints to mingle together while it's working on coming out of the cup. And I think the longer that I let the cup sit and the longer that I let it sit upside down like this, the more cells that I will end up getting. Whoa, I pushed it that way, and I did that on purpose, but it's running that way, so I'm gonna shove it back this way a little bit. I did that on purpose, but then it was kind of an accident. I'm going to save the little bit of paint, like I said, in case I need it on top. I still have a lot of paint on there. I think I've been getting my base coat with more coverage. It's a little bit more paint and it's a little bit thinner, so it helps the rest of my paint spread a lot better than what it used to. I can't really let it sit very much because I'm going to run off the canvas. I'd like to let it sit. I did that on purpose, shoved it forward and pulled it back so that I got more coverage on my lift. But it's making me lose paint over here. Maybe if I hold my finger here so that it doesn't all run off right now. I'm going to have to spin it again. Like I said, I like to let it sit and do what it wants to on its own before I start stretching and tilting. But the way I lifted it, I got more coverage, and my base coat helps it spread better. That's nice. So it leaves more of my paint on top instead of soaking in. I used to have a very thin base coat, and it kind of was, the canvas was still kind of dry that way, so that I lost some of my paint out of my cup, I think. We're losing paint over this side now too. I don't think I'm going to let it just sit and do its own thing very long. I did end up with some green. I figured I would, but I'm hoping that it doesn't turn out as green as my one did last week that was the yellow and orange and black, where I got a lot of green. I'm hoping I don't have that much green. I'd like for some more stuff to come up over here before I start stretching, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen right now. And I like where most of the stuff is right there, so I'm going to try to stretch around and stretch that out and keep a lot of that, but I'd like to get some other colors to show up as well. Because I'm not seeing very much of the pink or the purple. I'm seeing the yellow and blue make green, and I'm seeing the orangish yellow in the center, and I'm seeing blue. I see a tiny bit of pink, but I would like to see some of the pink and purple to show up as well. I have so much paint, so I'm not going to worry about what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of just yet. I'm just trying to stretch. I really only need 2 ounces of paint for this size of canvas, but I always use the 3-ounce cup and fill it up and then have the leftovers in there. And I used to not end up with quite so much runoff or quite as much paint that moves around on top, but I think the thinner base coat is the way to go, because it's giving me a lot more movability of my paint. So what I've noticed from using these colors a couple of times, that that yellow-orange is very predominant. It shows up a lot. I see a little bit of the yellow in there too. But that orangish color is what likes to stand out. I do have a corner catcher, but for now I'm not going to use it because I'm just trying to make room, get rid of some of my paint because I have way too much. And make room for some of the other colors to pop up. There I'm seeing a little bit of that pink popping up. So maybe if I go to that side. No, I want to bring it this way, I think. I don't know if you can see that. If you can't, I'm sorry. I'm starting to see the pink though. Alright. Yes, stretch. I'm getting my pink now. Which I don't have to have the pink, but I mean that's in there too, and the purple's in there. It's just that that blue and that greenish color that I have made and that orange yellow are what are taking over everything. So I'm going to turn this around. Try to pick up underneath. And I have been using these plastic placemat things to drip my paint on lately because eventually I would like to try making paint skin jewelry. I haven't tried it yet, but if I don't end up liking it, I will go back to dipping my cardstock and making like greeting cards, or like cards that can be used as greeting cards and stuff. So I've got a lot of the paint off now, and I have one more corner to go for. I was hoping with these pink cells over here, I'm going to turn it around. I was hoping these pink cells would stretch out while I went that way, but I have some pink on this edge, so that's good. My purple is lost. I'd say the blue ate up the purple probably because it was very dark purple or very dark blue. But having it next to that pearlescent paint lightened the blue a lot. So for right now what I'm doing is going for my corners, and then I will see if I like what I have or not. I want to get that greenish color off of there and try to save that blue with the pink that's right there. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing now. I'm trying to stretch back towards the center, if at all, that I can. I just, as I turned around, got a drip over there. Now the yellow's coming out. The orange is kind of stretching away and fading away, and the yellow is coming out. I like how the blue and the pink are at the edges. And I like that there's a little bit of lacing in there, but I don't really like the look of this very well. I'm going to go over this way just a tad. I'm sorry if you can't see that very well. I'll try to adjust in editing so you can see as best as possible. So I like the blue and the pink at the edges, and I like that you can see that yellow and orange. Here in just a second I'm going to set it down and look at it and see what I want to do with it. Because it's okay, and it's better than my last couple of paintings have been. And it does have a lot, sorry, I might have just kicked the tripod. It does have a lot to look at. This corner over here and this corner here are my favorites. There's a little bit of that blue there. I like how this spot's kind of in the middle and everything kind of conjoins there. I like how you can see the yellow and the orange. I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I can see the pearlescence making everything shimmer, but what I'm really tempted to do is, like I said at the beginning, I've been having such horrible luck. Been thinking about pouring that on top, but it looks like it's more of that orange that's left in there. I'd like a little bit of the pink and the purple. Okay, I had to wash off my hands because I had so much blue and greenish paint and I might have just gotten water on there. Had to wash off my gloves, and I got some Lysol wipes in case they get really messy again. I'm going to torch this. I looked at this after I walked away, and I do think it looks kind of cool. What I'm going to do, and I wanted to do this just to see if I could make it any better or any worse. If I make it worse, that's okay. I can try to fix it again. But this looks like it's mostly the orange and the blue left in there, so I'm going to add some of the purple on top. The Ultramarine Violet. I guess that's a lot more than I anticipated. And I want to add some of the pink on top. Or pink in there. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just squirting some pink down in there. And now I don't know how to get those paints to mix. I think I will just do, right here in the center, do a straight pour. Maybe I'll try a little ring pour. I've never done a ring pour. I don't know if this is going to, how this is going to turn out. Don't know what it's going to look like. Yep, and we got some drips, but I don't care. Kind of a combination ring pour, straight pour. I really don't know, and I really don't care. I'm going to get some more, another Lysol wipe since I don't have paper towels. Wipe my gloves off. Put my lids back on. Move my paint. And wait and see how my paint spreads again. Pop the little bubbles. Okay. And let's see. Oh, I made a drip in this corner that I liked so well. I was going to try to save this corner and this corner and try to spread this around the rest of the painting, but I may just have to see what I get. Since I have like a green drip over here that I did not intend on. Wow, that didn't really do anything. I'm not used to having so much paint, I don't think, that moves so easily. I'm just gonna, this will take a little while. I may fast forward this a little bit. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna stretch and see what happens. I think maybe at this point it looks like I think I should have left it alone. because once I got up and washed my hands and looked at it again, especially when I looked at it through the camera, it looked pretty cool. I'm going to have to shove that paint off. I can't just stretch it around it, I don't think. So we'll go over there. That was my least favorite corner, so we'll go over that one and then come back. We'll go this way. I'll go the opposite way. I think I see a hair in the painting I'll need to pick out whenever I set it down. I liked that corner too, but we're getting rid of that. Now I'm just going to end up with green in the center, I think. I'm still missing my corner, so I'll have to touch it up with my fingers. I lost more paint than I wanted trying to catch the corner. Don't really want to lose all of that corner over there because I liked it to begin with. Sorry, I'm not sure. Here, I'm going to have to turn it. I was going to say, I'm not sure how to do it where I can see what I'm doing, plus you can see what I'm doing. I may lose some of that too. Yeah, I lost all of that. We're going to put that pink over there and then stretch it back. I think what I'm going to do, I may have to tilt it that way too. I may have to lose all of the original painting. I wish I could meld that pink line into that corner there so that I could keep the part of the corner that I liked, but keep this ring as well, but I don't think I can. Otherwise it would have that orange separation. Alright, and now we come back. Figure out where I want to leave it. I do have the pink and blue corners like I wanted. Most of the center is green from the blue and yellow mixing together, but this green doesn't look as nasty as the green in my painting 2 videos ago. And there's a lot going on there in the center. With just the way the lines move are not perfectly symmetrical, they're not perfectly round. I kind of like it. I'll have to go around and take paint off the sides and off the table to touch up the actual corners because some of the very tips of the corners are white. That looks very neat. I think I would like to torch it. I do see a few little bubbles popping. So the first painting I got, I liked, and I almost did not do anything else to it. I almost kept it, but I went ahead and tried something new for me, and I think I like it. It is very green. I wish it wasn't so green, but I do like how I can see the pink and purple and the blue around the corners a little bit. I'm going to try to touch up this corner that is white with something similar. And all of my sides are very covered because I had a lot of paint and a lot of runoff. I do think I have one more white corner somewhere. There's just a white spot, so we'll touch that. Okay, the more I look at it, I can see some of the pink and blue kind of lacing around the outside of those swirly marks. I know it got very messy in the center because I wasn't doing a true ring pour. I wasn't very steady. I wasn't going in a smooth circle or anything, and I got drips at the end. But I think that the extra marks where it doesn't look perfect, I like that look a little bit better than if it were completely perfect circles there in the center, because I think it gives your imagination more to look at or think about when you look at it. It is very green, but like I said, as I sit and look, I can notice the pink and the blue and the purple kind of shining through. I can notice the yellow shining through. If I really look at it, I can see a tad bit of the orange tint in some places, but not a lot. I hope it dries okay. I hope it doesn't dry as ugly as my last one that turned out very green, because I like the way that the bright pink pulls my eye around all of the greenish colors. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Thanks as always for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos with anyone who you think may be interested. I am seeing some white spots pop up. That must be from the paint underneath, like the base coat. Like on this side over here, I can see some white spots, and I'm not sure if it's bare canvas or if it's white paint popping through. So if it ends up being white, if it ends up being canvas, I will just take a brush later after it dries and just dab in similar colors to fill in those spots. And I'll take you for a close-up, and have a blessed day. Bye. I will try to do a couple very quick close-ups in different lighting because it's dark outside. So the overhead lights are on and the ring light is on and it's causing a glare, but I'll get down here as best I can. I really love those rings at the corners with the pink and the purple and the blue. I love how shimmery this pearlescence makes my paint. Here are some of those rings. There's not a lot of details. I don't have cells. There's not a lot of lacing, but I really like the way you can see that pink and blue and purple, those colors, how they shine through, and it really separates the green, and it helps bring out some of the yellow as well. I did notice I am starting to get some white cells pop up through. That's probably because my base coat was so thin. So next time I might not thin it quite as much. But having it a lot thinner this time did help my paint spread a little bit more. There's a little yellow cell there. I am getting a little bit more show up as it dries. It's not the best ring pour I've ever seen. And it's not a true ring pour really, but it is something different for me, and it's unique, and I really like it. I hope it doesn't dry to where it looks completely green like my last one did though. So I will try to get a video in a few days when it's dry and let you see it. Bye.